Jenna. I'm gonna walk you quickly through our property. It is so cold out here, so I'm gonna try not to be miserable through this, but we're gonna take a little walk around the property and I'm gonna show you the things that we're doing here to get ready for the spring. One of the biggest hurdles that we have in gardening in Ohio is our weather. And really what happens is in the spring, we go from snow and really cold, frozen ground to it warming up but becoming very, very wet typically. And so it just is a muddy mess and we're unable to get into the garden. And so some of the things that we do in the winter are in preparation for that, getting ready so that when the weather actually breaks, we can get into the gardens and start working right away, and that we don't delay it any further than what is necessary.
Daisy, do you like the chickens? This is Daisy, our new little puppy. She loves to watch the chickens. She's very curious, so she's checking out the homestead. It's a very cold morning, although yesterday was even colder. So we're thinking about some things that we're going to be doing for the spring, and one of the things we'll be doing is cleaning out our chicken coop. It does need cleaning out, and we typically do that with some essential oils. So this spring we'll clean out the chicken coop, and we do have a video that we have on how to clean out your chicken coop with essential oils. We haven't had very much egg production. The chickens aren't laying as much, and so I've had a lot of frozen eggs. But what we're thinking about doing is having some of our own chickens that we raise. We'll incubate them this spring, so that's on the list to do.
Now it's January and most people have no interest in gardening at this time of the year, especially in Ohio. But we're the complete opposite. At this time of the year, we're starting to dream big and to start planning for our upcoming season, which means that we're planting seedlings inside very shortly. I already have onion seeds in soil inside under the grow lights. We are starting to really start plotting out things and planning them. We're starting to plan out how we're going to expand our garden, because we know that we need a lot more food than what we have already produced in the past. So we want to start growing even more, which means that we need more garden space and a lot more places to put seeds in the ground.
So this is the area where we had our sunflowers growing. Honestly, as we're thinking about the spring and being more intentional, I don't think I want to put as much work in as I did weeding the sunflower area. So I think what we're going to do here is add some feeder pigs. It's kind of a nice area that doesn't actually grow things very well other than my sunflowers. So the feeder pigs would be a great addition over here, and that'd be the space that we would use. So another thing on our to-do list for the spring is to expand our beginner's garden. So we just had a little garden, but we're gonna double it in size. Not only do we need to have enough food for ourselves just to eat throughout the year, but we want to be able to have enough food to store also for the rest of the year.
So one of the questions is, what should I actually be doing in January other than maybe thinking about seeds? And a few of the things that we're working on right now are really scoping things out and coming up with a plan for how we want to expand, what that's going to look like, and the materials that we're going to need. Now, I have a plan this year that I want Ben to have everything on hand and prepared ahead of time, so that when the weather breaks, that's not another delay that we have to deal with, and that we just have all of the boards that we need, any screws, all of the stuff that we need to get this garden going and in place first thing in the spring. We have had plans in the past to make our garden bigger, and because of the way the weather worked out, it just made it impossible to expand the garden, get everything in place, and the seeds planted in the time frame that needed to happen. And so then we pushed it off till fall, thinking that we'll get there in the fall. And that didn't happen either, because we're busy harvesting and having harvest party and all kinds of other things filling our time. And so it just didn't happen then either. So this year I am determined that this garden is growing bigger.
So it's that time of year where we have to order seeds and get ready for spring. And we really like MI Gardener, because we are in Northwest Ohio and he is in Michigan, and he has seeds from our climate area, so we know what will work. He has a really great website where you can go and get on his catalog, or you can order a catalog, he has given us actually a coupon code for anybody who views us, and it will be listed below.
Okay, so I'm out in the orchard, and this is a place where gets a lot of attention in the winter. We are going to be out here though, trimming things, cutting back all of the shoots, and cleaning these trees up because things start to bud really early around here, and we don't want to miss this opportunity.
So another thing on our list for spring would be to take this area that the previous owners had for their chicken coop. We're going to tear all the fencing down. Chuck is actually going to pick up doing beekeeping, and he's going to be making some horizontal natural beekeeping hives. So I'm really kind of looking forward to having our own honey. That'll be kind of exciting.
This year, it's my year to learn about bees. In one of my other videos, I mentioned that this is the first time that Ben has ever, I think, quit on an endeavor that he has taken on. He just felt like the bees were too much to learn and too big of an undertaking for him at this time. He has too many other projects and things that he's trying to figure out. And so he asked me if I would be willing to take them over. So during the winter months, I'm learning all about hive management, how to keep things under control without using any kind of chemicals or sprays or things that would be damaging or harmful for the bees. So I'm learning all kinds of things this winter. I'm just really digging in and starting to wrap my head around what it means to be a beekeeper. We have a really loud rooster right now. So I already went ahead and ordered a couple of new bee boxes because the chance that our bees are surviving this winter are slim to none. It just has been, we had too many warm days that were early on that kind of threw things off, and then it got very, very cold, and so I'm just counting on the fact that they're not going to live through the winter. And so we have bee boxes that are already ordered. If that's something that you're interested in, people are placing their orders now and getting those in place, so you don't want to wait on that.
Another big project we have for spring is all of our fencing, and we have a lot of fencing, and it's starting to dry out and it needs tightened up. I mean, it's just, if the boys try to climb on this, sometimes the rungs come out, so we need to somehow tighten that up. That was on the list last year, but we just didn't get to it.
All right, so right over here by me are the pigs, and they're getting huge in the next couple of months. They're going to be ready to be processed, and we are actually doing that by ourselves this year. But it's our very first time having pigs at all, and we're going to jump right in and learn how to butcher them. And so we have purchased books, we've been watching videos, buying up all of the knives and the things that we're going to need in order to do this ourselves. So that will be quite the learning process. We have a grandfather who has done this many times, and so he's coming out and he's going to walk us through that process and work alongside us. So that we're really excited about it and learning how all of that works.
This is where we had strawberries about 2 summers ago, and honestly they just got taken over by yarrow, and we have been fighting yarrow like crazy, and we haven't been that successful at fighting it actually. So we need to come up with an idea. If any of you have any ideas, we'd love to hear them, how to get rid of yarrow. So what we're gonna do is rip all this out, and we're gonna start over with the strawberry area. Our blueberries, they have not really produced well at all. Our soil, I don't think, is great for blueberries. Chuck has tried different things, so I don't know if that's something we are going to continue trying to produce or not.
All right, so one of the things that we also do in the winter is getting ready for our goats to kid. So I guess that's kind of preparing for the spring because that's when they'll be sold and become a source of income on our homestead. But they will be kidding very soon. We have one that I believe is gonna go any day now. She's getting pretty close. So we're preparing all of the things that they're gonna need, ordering new heat bulbs and all of the stuff that are required for taking care of baby goats. So I'll take you out and show you here, but the one, she's starting to really waddle and her milk is filling in. Hi, girl. How are you doing? You doing okay? Getting big. Really, winter for us is all about slowing down, but preparing the things that we are going to need for spring so that when it's time to move and groove, we're ready to go. So that means that we're buying materials, we're ordering seeds, we're starting seeds indoors, we're picking things up from the home improvement store, and just making sure that we have a plan in place for what we're going to do as soon as the weather breaks. So we are excited that you came along with us today. We will catch you next week on This Ohio Farmhouse.